You know, you gotta understand this here, man. You're not gonna get any real conversation about it when you go on social media or when you watch your little Fox Sports or ESPN. Right now, I'm talking about Becky Hammond being the first female coach in the NBA. And what you're going to see is you're going to start to see more and more of these things happening. Uh, you're not going to get people to speak how they really feel about it. And I'm going to tell you why. People are going to tote the line. You know, you look at your little favorite shows on Fox and ESPN, they all are going to say the same thing. They're going to congratulate, and they are going to say it's a monumental moment, and that's what they're going to say. So I don't understand. I don't see why people insist on watching ESPN or even Fox, because you know good and well majority of these folks on TV, they all swing left. Once again, I'm not mad because I saw this coming. I've stated this in other videos that I made, that they are going to make sure they are going to push Becky Hammond as the first female to coach. They're going to push that. And I don't see how can do that, because you would think Tim Duncan would be the main candidate for it, because not only Tim Duncan played in the league, he won in this league 5 times and won Finals MVP 4 times. So once again, you are going to see players and coaches and people on your little TV shows. They all going to tote the line. They are. And the unfortunate part is that people who like their sports to be one-sided, you are not going to see it anymore. Just like that situation at Vanderbilt where Sarah Fuller did a kickoff, and she did a field goal, and now she is in College Football Hall of Fame. Just once again, feminism, globalists, and racialists are being pushed in this society. They are going to make sure that women are going to be pushed hard and heavy. Globalists, they make sure that LGBTQ are going to be pushed, and racialists dealing with Black Lives Matter and other social justice issues that are going to be pushed into this country. And since the NBA is super woke, they are going to make sure that Becky Hammond will get a coaching job. Of course, she got to coach when Greg Popovich did what he always do, so yells and scream at the referees. I mean, it's kind of getting old, actually. My personal opinion, it's kind of getting old. You screaming and yelling at these referees doing their job. It ain't like you were going to beat the Lakers. I mean, you know, what do you do? What you always do? You scream and yell at the referees, knowing good and well you're going to get blown the hell out. You don't have a good squad. They're just a bunch of mediocre basketball players, as you can see here on this picture. They look dazed and confused, but at the same time, if he wasn't ejected, he's going to shake LeBron's hand and give him all kinds of praise like he is the black Jesus that's walking through with tennis shoes. Because we all know Popovich is super woke, and he's very liberalized, and he's a military guy. And to me, he comes across as a guy who likes to put his players under some kind of mind control. So, of course, he's perfect for the league, so he can go ahead and do what he do. So, of course, he gets ejected, and here comes Miss Becky Hammond. You know, even though they still lost, she over there screaming just like he is, and saying whatever they saying, just like you see on this here picture. But these guys but at the end of the day, they're going to tote the line. They're going to say whatever they say. DeMarcus Rosa has made a comment about she's one of us. Making comments like that. But once again, people like Mark Jackson, Chauncey Billups, Jason Kidd, Jerry Stackhouse, and many other coaches or players who were players in the league can't find a coaching job, but they want to make sure that Becky Hammon gets that situation. Hell, they didn't even bring in Candace Parker, nor Lisa Leslie. They didn't bring in none of those women. They want to make sure that they bring in this Caucasian woman, and I do believe she dibbles and dabs in the LGBTQ community, to make sure that these agendas are being pushed. So once again, you are not going to see these players make a comment about it. They are not going to do it. They are all going to tote the line because the majority of these players are sheeps and they're simps, and they are going to do what they do, and that's continue to play basketball. You're not going to hear any negativity about Becky Hammon coming in to the NBA as a coach. You're not going to hear it. Not from them. Even though Tim Duncan, to me, is more qualified. Mark Jackson, more qualified. Jason Kidd, more qualified. Jerry Stackhouse, more qualified. And countless of others. But once again, agendas are going to be pushed, and the NBA is perfect because they are super woke. And they are super woke, and that's how they think. So look for this to continue. And also, I want to throw in, look for Breanna Stewart and Sue Bird to try out for the NBA. I see that coming. Especially Breanna Stewart. I see that coming as well. Trying out for the NBA, and I think she will make it. See, once again, guys, you got to understand, agendas are being pushed. It's not going to go away. But a guy like me, I'm going to speak about it because you know why? I love basketball. I love to play basketball. I love sports. So I do not hang my hat on what these NBA players do, because I love the game, but I don't love it the way they do. They play it for the paycheck, and they play it to be sheeps, where agendas are being pushed. A lot of these players are not handling their business as far as dealing with all this other stuff, but yet and still, we have to listen to these guys talk about Black Lives Matter, taking a knee, or talking about things that they don't know nothing about. And now they are going to push this situation on to the masses. So, like I said, me being a sports guy, I'm going to talk about it. Because, like I said, I'm not going to change who I am. I love sports. I used to love the NBA. But when they started to push all this woke stuff, that's just not me. I'm not woke. I love my sports. I love it passionately. But when you start pushing in these women players and stuff like that over people like Mark Jackson and all these other players, I already know why they're doing that. And I don't co-sign on feminism. I don't co-sign on globalists. I don't co-sign on LGBTQ stuff. I don't co-sign on Black Lives Matter. I don't co-sign on racialist stuff. I don't co-sign on that. I don't believe in equality. You want equality? Then you need to prove yourself to the masses that you can do it. I don't need no handouts. And it seems to me you have qualified people that can do this job, but they just wanted to push an agenda onto the NBA, which makes up what, about 80% of players who are black. So this is what they're going to do. They're going to make sure they push the Caucasian female into these locker rooms. So, like I said, man, I couldn't help but talk about it. It just started to trip me out because I don't even look on Fox Sports to challenge the situation. And where my challenge is the qualification. You're not going to see that. You're not going to hear Shannon Sharp or Skip Bayless talk about that. They're going to congratulate. You definitely are not going to hear any analyst on ESPN talk against that. And you definitely not going to hear any players that's going to talk against Becky Hammon, because they will be railroaded out real quick. So, hey, I'm going to be the guy that's going to talk about it. So, I mean, like I said, I'm looking at the qualification. Like I said, I want you guys to check out something where Tracy McGrady made a suggestion to the WNBA player by the name of Breanna Stewart about maybe lowering the rim to 9.5 to 9 feet. And look at her response, and including Rachel Nichols' response. They didn't like that at all. Once again, WNBA players are going to attack NBA players until they get their payday. So I think that Breanna Stewart will be in the NBA, and Sue Bird will more likely be behind Becky Hammon in coaching in the NBA. So guys, I want to talk about this. I had to bring it up. So look for the WNBA to come in and take over the NBA.